Hey indie fans, and welcome once again to Indie Watch, a showcase of 5 indie games that you need to add to your wishlist for the gaming week ahead. After a quiet start to May, we are beginning to see quite a few interesting titles poke their head over the horizon, so to make sure they don't pass you by, let's see what this week has in store. In at number 1 we have Heading Out. First up on Indie Watch this week, we have Heading Out, a gritty comic book noir story of a fugitive on the run. In this game, which feels like a typically inventive indie twist on games like Need for Speed and Burnout, you'll play as a criminal on the run, and will need to race across the country to evade capture, but along the way, you'll need to keep your car in good shape, make tactical pit stops to find a way to evade the law, and you'll meet a cast of crazy characters that just might be your ticket to freedom if you give them something in return. It's a very interesting format that blends high-octane racing with RPG and survival elements, promising a thrilling game of cat and mouse that I cannot wait to get stuck into when it arrives on PC and console on the 7th of May. In at number 2 we have Gift. If you're getting that sinking feeling, don't worry, it actually might be a good thing this time. Gift is a game that will feel very familiar to games like Limbo, Inside, and Little Nightmares, offering an ominous and unsettling 2D side-scrolling puzzle location to explore. The spooky location on this occasion is a sinking ship, so if you ever wanted to see what Little Nightmares would be like if it took place on the Titanic, then you're in luck. This game uses the looming threat of water filling the boat and the topsy-turvy nature of a sinking ship to offer some tense and rather clever platforming moments. It looks like a nailed-on favourite for puzzle platforming fans, so if that's your jam, be sure to gift yourself Gift when it arrives on the 9th of May on console and PC. In at number 3 we have Little Kitty Big City. As an owner of 5 cats, Bear, Winnie, Mavis, Tina and Pudge, not that you were asking, I'm always going to be a sucker for a game with a cat protagonist, and the next one on the indie conveyor belt is Little Kitty Big City. This one seems to be up the same alley as something like Untitled Goose Game, where your goal is to seemingly cause as much chaos as possible in the big city. You can accomplish this in a typical feline fashion by knocking over stuff, stealing things, doing zoomies, and best of all, you can do it in a series of cute and colourful hats. What's not to love about that? It's essentially Stray, but with a much more open-ended sandbox vibe, kind of like Goat Simulator. This one promises to be an absolute delight, so pick this one up when it drops on PC and Switch on the 9th of May. In at number 4 we have Crow Country. Are you bored of super polished modern games with innovative controls? If you answered yes, then chances are you are nostalgic for the good old days when Lara Croft was running around with spiky boobs and tank controls. Well, in the spirit of that nostalgia, we have a PS1 inspired horror game called Crow Country that is set to hit the digital shelves very soon. This one is very reminiscent of retro Resident Evil titles, and much like those games, it seems like a game that is offering retro visuals and a retro feel, but it isn't going to take away from the horror on screen, and in fact it may add to the unsettling nature of what's on screen. Theme parks are meant to be fun, but Crow Country is the exception to the rule that is sure to send shivers right up you, so if you fancy a blast from the past, this is a horror game that you'll need to check out. And in at number 5 we have Animal Well. Then to wrap things up we have Animal Well, a game that takes a lot of notes from the successful multiplayer platformer Karma Zoo, and then tweaks the formula to offer a single player 2D platformer which is unlike anything you'll have seen within the genre to date. All the Metroidvania staples are there to see, with inaccessible areas without power-ups, boss battles to overcome, and a subtle story to unravel as you go. However, every gimmick and mechanic feels like a breath of fresh air within the genre, and the bosses are more puzzles to solve than battles to fight through. It's one of those games where only playing and experiencing it for yourself will you truly see how magical and unique this game is, so I would urge you to do that when the game releases on the 9th of May. So there you have it guys, 5 indie games that we are highlighting for the week ahead. What did you think of this selection? Are you going to pick up any of these games, or did we miss any? Let us know in the comments below if we did. Like, subscribe, comment, do anything you can to help us in the algorithm, and until next time, I've been Cal, and I'll see you then.